Hey guys, Shavua Tov. So, as usual, I'm going to be controversial. I don't even know if you want to call it controversial. I'm just going to go against conventional thinking and conventional wisdom, and I'm going to go against what everybody normally sees on their Facebook feeds from every typical Israel advocacy website. And I'm going to talk about something a little deeper here. And it's not even that deep. It's a very famous idea in the Torah, in Jewish, I guess, philosophy. Guys, I've been seeing a lot of posts basically of the same thing, identical posts, near identical, in terms of in theme. People are posting a picture of Kever Yosef, which, as we know, the Arabs tried to basically destroy. I think it was yesterday, Motzei Shabbat, I'm not sure. And, the caption says something along the lines of, "This is so horrible. How can they do this?" They claim that this is one of their tzaddikim, Yosef, that they call him. How can they do this? How can they do this? This is terrible. This is awful, blah, blah, blah. So I just want to tell all these Israel advocacy websites, all you guys, I'm not going to name you. You know who you are. On the first, more kind of shot, simple level, here's what really irks me about you guys. You spend all your time talking about and using the vernacular of West Bank, West Bank, West Bank, West Bank, West Bank, right? Instead of saying the proper terminology, Judea and Samaria. Judea, where do we get our names from? Jews, Judea, right? Yehuda, Yehudim. And, you use all that language. You don't call, instead of saying Shechem, you guys say Nablus. You don't say the right names. You don't emphasize these things, guys. And then when something like this happens, you guys get upset. Oh, they attacked Kever Yosef, the site of Kever Yosef in Nablus. I don't know, somebody just wrote, either you write Kever Yosef without actually writing Shechem, or just Kever Yosef in Nablus. And the ones of you who write Shechem, it's usually religious people, okay? That's one level. You use the wrong terminology and then you get upset when something happens, right? Yeah, words have meaning, my friend Brian says. Yeah, of course they have meaning, right? On a deeper level, guys, as soon as I saw this, guys, the minute I saw this, I thought about automatically, maybe this is just me. Maybe this is just where my mind goes. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm different. And I know I am. That's for sure. You can ask my friends and my family. Automatically, I went to the idea of Pagam Habrit. How people, particularly men, particularly Jewish men, do not keep the Brit. Sexual impropriety of all types. Why did I go there? Why did my mind go there? Because I'm a whatever? No. Guys, I don't know if you know. Yosef, he's called Yosef HaTzadik because he held himself in that department. He was basically accosted by the most beautiful woman in the world, the most, literally sexually seductive woman in the world. Whatever you think is the most beautiful woman in the world today, whatever, or presented as that by the media, take that person and multiply that person by 1,000 in terms of the way that she looks and her vibe and her energy and the vibe she gave off. And Yosef, 17-year-old guy with raging flippin' hormones, was able to hold himself. And actually, the one moment where they say he didn't really hold himself in terms of just physiologically, biologically, not that he did anything with Potiphar's wife, it was like, not to get a little graphic, the 10 droplets ended up being the 10 martyrs this is already, we're getting into, the deeper part, or the midrashic part of the Kabbalah, or the Aggadic part of the Kabbalah, of the Gemara, of the Talmud, and then Kabbalistic idea. These are the people that ended up being the 10 martyrs during the Roman times, the ones that were flayed by Rome. Okay? But apart from that, this guy basically held himself. And my friends, now think about this. What do we have in common with the Arabs? We have a grandfather in common with them. We have Abraham. What did Abraham do with his 2 kids, Ishmael and Yitzhak? He circumcised them. The only difference is Ishmael didn't get all the brachas from that, so to speak. I mean, he got the brachas in another way, to be, so to speak, fruitful and multiply. But the hiyuv, the obligation, was actually given, as a result of that, was given only to Yitzhak. But, however, we share this quote-unquote commandment. This is before any mitzvot were brought down, through Moshe Rabbeinu by Hashem, before the Torah was even given, years, centuries, millennia before the Torah was even given. This is what we share with our cousins. So now you guys are asking, how could it be? Back to the original question, back to the original, kind of raising your hands up in shock. How could it be that our cousins could attack the kever of the one man on planet Earth who held himself? Again, guys, in the words of Al Pacino and Glenn Ross, I have something that might help him to catch you. I have something that might help you to figure this out. You something. Okay? It's very simple. You child. As he's talking to Kevin Spacey character, Williamson. I have something here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very simple. You just have to know the Torah. You just have to understand what's going on. You just have to understand that nothing is by accident. You just have to understand that the Arabs don't just do things, like the Joker. I just do things. Ladies and gentlemen, okay? And it's interesting that this happened in the month of Nisan. Obviously, it's during Ramadan that they're going, this is their favorite Ramadan activity, but it's also the month of Nisan. The month where we left Egypt. What did we do? One of the things we did, we left Egypt. Moshe Rabbeinu took Yosef's, that's when Yosef's kever was taken out of Egypt. Sarcophagus, it was an Egyptian, the way that they embalmed him. Guys, I bet you if we dig up, Chas v'shalom, we dig up this kever, we will find Yosef embalmed. We will find basically an Egyptian-style sarcophagus inside that kever. That's what we will find. That's what archaeologists will find. Maybe even Egyptologists, really. And he took him out, and he buried him in Shechem, which some of you Israel advocacy people call nablus. I don't know why you do this. I really don't know why. But then when something happens, you get upset. Oh, how can it? You're calling it nablus. You're calling it West Bank. This girl, I'm not going to say her name, she's a news reporter, in front of that bar in Tel Aviv. Oh, this guy, terrorist, came from the West Bank, and now we're doing operations in the West Bank. And no, we're not doing operations in the West Bank. We're doing operations in Judea and Samaria, where our cousins are occupying space. They're not supposed to be there. They came as occupiers during Abu Bakr, when Islam Caliphate invaded our land. And then afterwards it was the Ottoman Empire, a few caliphates, and then the Ottomans, and then Mamluks, and whomever else. My friends, we can't play this schizophrenic advocacy game. We have to call things for what they are, their real names. You understand? And then on the second level, we have to understand what this is all about. Guys, I don't know if you notice, the world today, the main problem revolving around everything and everything that everybody's trying to cover up, supposedly, allegedly, is something to do with sexual impropriety. Whether it's Mr. What's his name? Mr. Hunter, whether it's these people who do sex trafficking. I'm not going to name the political parties. Whether it's this or it's that, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's what we see on social media. Again, I'm not excluding myself from this, guys. I'm not a tzaddik. I'm not a priest. I'm not a monk. I'm not a tzaddik. I'm not any of these things. I'm caught in the thickets of all this, just as many of you are. Okay? But this is the main issue. This is what everything revolves around, whether it's Jewish people, not Jewish people. And again, who is the guy that held himself in front of basically, People Magazine's most beautiful woman of the year, of the century? It was Yosef HaTzadik. This kever, guys, they've attacked this kever before. They've thrown, firebomb, Molotov cocktails at the kever, leaving black marks, usually this, that. Guys, they damn near, almost opened up the kever this time around. They almost opened it. Again, if they open it, they're going to find a flippin' Egyptian-style, ancient Egyptian sarcophagus in there. My friends, we need to stop crying. We need to stop asking the questions, how can this happen? And we need to understand that everything, whatever we see in front of our face when it comes to the land of Israel, is happening on a spiritual plane, and it plays itself out on a physical level. My friend is writing, the problem is also changing the meaning of the words. Of course. I have arguments with some of my secular Israeli friends. They tell me the word emunah means faith. No, it doesn't. Yeah, look at the dictionary. No, I'm not talking about the dictionary definition. What is the meaning of the word emunah? Right? That's just one example of many. A dictionary definition of something is not its meaning. This is how leftists argue. Look, and then they show you the dictionary definition. No, that's not the meaning. Obviously, we know that. Another childish way of discussing things. So my friends, I don't know. Is it just me? Is it just me? Is it just so obvious to me? Again, and sometimes I understand where it's like these Israel advocacy organizations, some of the people are not exactly Torah scholars, whatever, and not to say that I am a big one, but some of these religious people, how could this be? Are you guys blind? Did you not learn anything about Yosef? Did you not learn anything about the Torah? Do you not learn any pnimius Torah? Anything? Again, you don't have to be a mikubal. This is basic esoteric ideas that you can learn even from some of the midrashic ideas or agadic ideas in the Talmud. Or even if you learn something about hashkafa. Or maybe I'm just a crazy Baal Tshuva. I don't know. But guys, this is so damn obvious why this happened. Not why this happened, what message it's trying to send us. And at the time that this happened, right before Pesach, it's so flippin' obvious. All this stuff is obvious. Everything's obvious. All you got to do is change your lens in your camera, and you'll see it. That's basically it, guys. All right, that's all I got to say. That's my rant. I just needed to blurt that out because I'm just looking at my feed and I'm just like, these guys are they don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. It's like screaming in your face. It's astounding. My friend said, no, not just you. Yeah, listen, how come non-Jews get it and Jews don't? I don't know. That's another mystery, right? Anyway, guys, that's my piece for this Sunday, and talk to you guys soon.